There's one habit, one simple discipline, that creates a massive separation between the people who wish and the people who achieve. And most people ignore it, overlook it, or underestimate its power. Jim Rohn used to say, "Success is neither magical nor mysterious. It is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals." But here's the question. What is the one fundamental that changes everything? Today we're going to uncover it, not as a slogan, but as a practical philosophy you can begin using today. Because the truth is simple. If you can master this one habit, every other area of your life begins to rise with it. Minka, the habit of consistent self-review. The habit that separates achievers from everyone else is the discipline of consistent self-review. The daily process of looking at your life, your actions, and your direction. Jim Rohn called it running the day instead of letting the day run you. Think of it like steering a massive ship. A tiny shift in direction, just a few degrees, determines whether you reach your destination or drift into the wrong ocean entirely. Most people never look at where they're going, they just hope things get better. But achievers, they pause, they reflect, they ask, "Is what I'm doing right now taking me where I want to go?" Remember Jim Rohn's simple story. A man works hard for years, only to realize he climbed the ladder of success, and the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. He never stopped to review. He never checked his direction, and years slipped by. The achiever's habit ensures that never happens to you. The power of the daily check-in. Every achiever has a moment, often just a few quiet minutes, where they sit with their thoughts and ask powerful questions. What did I do today that moved me toward my goals? What wasted my time? Where did I make genuine progress? This isn't judgment. It's awareness. And awareness is the birthplace of all improvement. A pilot constantly checks the instruments, altitude, direction, wind speed, not because something is wrong, but because precision matters. Your life deserves that same precision. Without these daily check-ins, days blur into weeks, weeks blur into months, and suddenly a year has passed and nothing has changed. When you reflect daily, you grow daily. The car-turning review into results. Here is where the achievers separate themselves even further. They don't just review, they adjust. They don't wait for New Year's resolutions. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They correct as they go, just like a driver gently turns the wheel to stay centered on the highway. Small, steady adjustments keep your life on course. Achievers don't hide from the truth when they catch themselves wasting an hour or breaking a promise. They use that truth. The habit is not about perfection, it is about direction. Let me ask you, when was the last time you paused and honestly reviewed where your life is heading? If it's been a while, you need to master this habit now. Replace drifting with deliberate action. The opposite of achievement is drifting, not failure, not mistakes. Drifting. It's the quiet slide into routines you never chose, the slow surrender to distraction, the feeling of, "I'll fix it someday." But here is the truth, achievers learn early. Someday is not a day of the week. Jim once spoke about a young man who told him, "I'm always busy, but nothing in my life is changing." Jim replied, "Busy doesn't equal progress. The question is, busy doing what?" That's the difference. Drifters stay busy. Achievers stay intentional. A simple habit to build is this. Every morning, write the 3 things that truly matter today. Not 30, just 3. Most people drown in tasks. Achievers narrow the focus. Clarity creates movement, and movement breaks the drift. Ask yourself, what 3 actions today would actually move my life forward? 1. The weekly reset, the achiever's secret weapon. If daily review is the spark, weekly review is the engine. Every achiever has a weekly reset, a moment to step back and look at the bigger picture. Jim Rohn compared it to a farmer walking through his fields on Sunday, making sure the soil is right and that weeds are removed before they take over. A weekly reset helps you realign your goals, reevaluate your habits, remove the weeds of distraction, renew your vision. This is where you ask, what did I accomplish this week? Where did I fall short? What lesson did the week teach me? Reflection without adjustment is dreaming. But reflection with adjustment, that becomes growth. Atrasals, small habits that support big change. Once you adopt the habit of review, you'll notice tiny habits that quietly shape your life. Achievers replace one small draining habit with one small empowering one. For example, replace scrolling before bed with reading 10 pages, waking up rushed with 5 minutes of goal review, complaining with writing one thing you're grateful for. These may look small, but small is where transformation begins. Success is rarely the result of one big moment. It's the result of the thousands of tiny corrections stacked daily. Jim Rohn said it best. Success is doing the right things every day, no matter how small. Let me ask you something important. What's one small habit that, if you started today, would make your life better in 30 days? That answer is your starting point. Become identity. Become the person your goals require. Jim Rohn used to say, if you want to have more, you must first become more. Your habits don't just create results, they create a person. And that person creates the future. Imagine a thermostat set at 68 degrees. Even if the room warms up, the thermostat pulls the temperature right back down. That's how identity works. If your internal identity says, I'm inconsistent, you'll always drift back. Achievers elevate the thermostat of their identity. They start telling themselves, I'm the kind of person who shows up. I'm the kind of person who finishes what I start. I'm the kind of person who grows daily. And slowly, their entire life rises to match that new belief. Let me ask you, what identity are you currently living from? And what identity must you upgrade to? Mastery. The courage to start before you feel ready. All growth requires courage. Not loud courage, but quiet courage. The courage to take the first step. The courage to act while unsure. The courage to adjust as you go. Jim Rohn would remind us, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Every achiever begins with imperfect steps. But here's the secret. That tiny first step is the one that changes everything. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence, and confidence transforms your life. So ask yourself, what is one step you can take today before you feel ready? Proto. The habit that separates achievers from everyone else. Here it is, the habit behind all habits, the one discipline that shapes everything else, the habit of consistent, honest self-review, the willingness to pause, to look inward, to evaluate your direction, and to adjust. Most people avoid reflection because it requires honesty. But achievers embrace it because it creates growth. Review creates awareness. Awareness creates improvement. Improvement creates transformation. This is the habit that separates achievers from everyone else. Your life changes the day you begin reviewing it. If you take anything from this message, let it be this. Your life will not change by accident. Your life changes by an awareness, by intention, by examining where you are and deciding where you're going. And the moment you make reflection a daily ritual, you begin walking the path of every great achiever Jim Rohn ever taught. This is your moment to raise your standards, to elevate your identity, to choose disciplines that compound, to design the life you want. Not someday, but today. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comment below and declare your commitment. I'm ready to grow. I'm taking action. Here's one habit I'll start today. Your future belongs to the person you decide to become, and that decision begins now.